And welcome! This video we're checking out the second mob of the Minecraft Live 2021 mob vote. Let's get started, let's hear what Jens has to say. Actually, before we start, the theory looks like it's correct. The theory that the quadromorphic end division, the pillager sound, and the beacon actually was a tease to what the mobs will be. So the first mob, the glare, was the end division. The second mob, which we're about to see now, the alley, is the pillager sound, because it relates to sound. And the third mob should be some sort of beacon type mob, where it will either give you a buff or somehow work with beacons in some way. But let's get started. Hear what Jens has to say.
Tiny Agnes,
Tiny
where
Agnes.
are you?
I love this little story that happens like every year. Like we get like a little, like Agnes has fallen down the hole, and whilst Agnes is down the hole, Jens is like encounters the other mob. It's great, and I'm sure they'll meet up for the third mob. So let's get started. There he is, and basically everyone's saying this little guy here looks like a little Vex, and I actually like that. I like if this guy does get into the game, it will probably be like in like the lore, you know, even though Minecraft hasn't got too much lore, it'll be like, oh, the pillagers like have the evil Vex, like they have these guys, the alley. Ah, it's called like the alley, but I like saying ally because that sounds like easy to say. But whenever I say alley, I feel like ALLAY. I just like think of that name. But yeah, let's continue.
Hello,
on.
fellow music fan. You're my only friend now that Tiny Agnes is gone.
Oh no, Jens, it's okay, Jens. So let's
Here,
continue
take
on.
my last cookie.
Oh,
You
okay.
deserve it.
So you give it an item,
Typical.
and
You must be the ALLAY. Thanks for collecting all these cookies for me. Would you do that with...
okay. So anyway, what he says there is he gives the item to the alley. It will fly off, collect all the other items, and then bring them back, and which is it's a huge like deal. Like it's so good this year that they've given all the mobs like a different thing that they can do. And he says that he brings them back to a jukebox, not a jukebox, a note. It's a what is it called again?
with any item I give you?
And then he gives him
Hooray! No more collecting for
no
me.
block. It's a no block. Boom! I got it before he even said it. So this is really cool because you don't have to collect any items anymore. And I would love it if you could have like a sort of like you give them an item and like lock it in. Like if you right click them and had like a slot where like you put an item in, and then it will always collect that certain item. Everyone's got like really like, oh, it's so good, but it really depends on like how it works, like the range. Like if it's got a huge range, if it doesn't have a very big range, it might not be that useful. Everyone's like, oh, this is so good, this is so good. But the way I saw it was like he gave him one item, he gets all the items, and then drops all the items here, and then he needs a new item, so you'd have to keep clicking him all the time. So you know, it might be like that. But something else no one said, because it's like a Vex, I feel like it will be able to fly through walls. So, like if there's a wall, like Vexes can like fly through the walls and fly through any direction. So, you can have like a farm, let's say, like of like cactuses, let's say, or sugarcane, and instead of having waterways, you have like a Vex, the alley, the good Vex, I'm gonna call it, the good old Vex, and you can have like him in the middle of the farm. And you don't need like waterways everywhere, and you just have the one note block and one hopper with the chests. Because I'm sure you just put a hopper like right here, and then he'll just drop them all like there down. Like that'll be pretty much how it will work in the game. So yeah, I feel like you just like give him like an item. Hopefully you can lock the item in, like sugarcane. Let's say sugarcane. You have the machines pushing the sugarcane when it grows, you know, like a farm. And then he just like flies around, goes through the walls, grabs all the sugarcane. Even if you don't have walls, it'll still be like, you know. But I'm pretty sure it should be able to do that. But let's continue on.
And you dance too?
And he dances.
Amazing.
That's another reason why everyone's loving this guy, and I like him too. Where you know he dances. You know, you play some little tunes for him, and he's like the parrot where they dance as well. We can have like a little party. You can have like the parrots dancing. You can have this guy dancing if he gets added to the game.
Sing. If you give an ALLAY an item, it will collect matching ones for you.
Yeah,
It also loves music. So if there's a note block nearby, that's where it will drop them.
No block.
Tiny Jens?
Oh, yeah, and then it just continues on for the story of like Agnes and Jens. But another thing as well is how easy is it to move this guy? If it's not like easy to move him, he might not be that like valuable. You know what I mean? Like, because everyone's like, oh, this guy's gonna be so good in the game, but I'm like, will he though? It's really cool though. It is really cool. Depends how it works, but it's really, really good. I'm really hyped for this guy. If any mob gets in now, I'm so glad because like So one of the developers on Twitter said, "Ah, what if there's no bad mobs this year? Because everyone was like upset from last year, and this year, like every mob's got like a purpose. So even if like your not favorite one doesn't win, at least it's still in the game. Like there's still like a cool like idea. Like we have light up the dark. We got collect your items, and then whatever the next one's gonna be. At least we have those three things in the game. So like I really this really makes me want like these in the game. I want like all of them in the game. I really hope they do an update later on where like it adds in all of the old ideas that didn't win. Like all the biomes, all the mobs, all get added in like a big the loser update or like the lost up. Like that's what they should do. They should call it the lost update, adding in all the old items and stuff that didn't get added to the game. That would be really awesome. Like you can even add in stuff like the red dragon and stuff, like all the stuff that just didn't make it. That was like really good and should have been put in the game before, but just like that's a cool idea. But thank you for watching this episode. It was really fun looking at the alley. Let's see the next one tomorrow. Thank you everyone for watching, and goodbye.